Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it now. Say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it now.
How different is it from the first album, The Warning?
It's still recognizably hot chip music, you know. Alexis is still singing and I'm still playing the guitar, and there's some louder songs on there and there's some quieter songs than people are used to. You know, we're quite well known for making dance music, so maybe people aren't used to kind of more, sort of quite quiet songs, but those are some of my favourite songs on the album. So,
how important is variation on an album?
Well, it doesn't seem to be very important for most people these days, to be honest. Like, we get asked about that quite a lot, and it's just very strange to me that people seem to find it unusual, because, you know, if you look at any album like before like 95 or something, there will always be like some loud songs and some quiet songs, and you know, that's just what an album was. But you know, these days you either have like a dance act or you have a singer-songwriter, and people say, okay, so that's that music, and when they buy the album they just expect to have like a body of work that is, you know, of one type. What was difficult about this album was that, we have these very different sounding songs, so to kind of sequence the record and make the whole thing quite cohesive was relatively difficult. But, you know, I think we kind of got it right just about in the end, and I think the album works as an album. You know, you can put it on at the start and like listen to the songs in sequence, and it kind of works quite well that way, I think.
Made in the Dark, what's the idea behind the title?
It's in one sense it's semi-literal. Like some of the songs that we recorded in the studio, we turned all the lights off, and you know, we use a lot of synthesizers and amplifiers and stuff, and they all have like little LED lights on them. So like when everything's on in the room and like all the keyboards are on and the amplifiers, like it's not dark because you see all the little tiny lights, and it's quite, you know, quite pretty, and changes the way that you play a lot of the feel of what you do. But the main reason really was just because we wanted to emphasize like that side of the music. So the song Made in the Dark is one of the slowest, like quietest songs on the album, and we wanted to sort of you know, sort of say to people that that's, you know, what they should maybe pay a bit of attention to.
You're experimenting with rock elements. Are there more instruments used on this album?
We've always used the guitar. I mean, like, you know, there's people always think of us like as a keyboard band or whatever, but we've always, like, nearly every Hot Chip song will have a guitar, or like will have acoustic elements to it. Obviously a song like One Pure Thought like starts off with this big guitar riff, and that was me playing that, and I was just like imagining that I was like, you know, Slash or fucking like Keith Richards or something, and, you know, sort of fag hanging out of my mouth and just like playing the big riff. But, you know, it only lasts for a very short amount of time, and then suddenly you're into something different, which is like this kind of more reggaeton or like Afrobeat style thing. So we never really hang around too long on any one thing really, and like rock music or whatever is always in the background, but also dance music is always there, and also soul is always there. So it's something that it's just always been part of what we do. But maybe on that particular song you happen to hear it by itself for a short amount of time.
I'm only going to heaven if it feels like hell. I'm only going to heaven if it tastes like caramel.
Yeah, I like that. A lot of people pick out that line. We were just talking about the idea of like heaven and hell, and, you know, people's concepts of heaven is like a very kind of saccharine, kind of like overindulgent kind of place. And actually, we were just thinking, is it going to be really that good if it's like that? You know, it's sort of just sort of turning that whole idea on its head, and like saying that maybe, you know, what's good about life is that, you know, the sort of more difficult aspects of things. So I don't know, it was just like a funny line, basically.
How comfy is the thought some people start to kiss on a song that Hot Chip made?
Yeah, it's it happens quite a lot, to be honest. Like when we look around the audience, sometimes you see like young couples and like they're going for it. And, like I think some of it is quite like coupley music. We had one of our songs somebody used as the like when they were getting married and they were going down the aisle, and it is kind of strange, but it's nice. It's great, you know. I mean, you know, that's what we want our music to be like, to be something that, you know, you can go out and dance to and kind of have a great time to, but you can also kind of like get romantic to, or like, or just makes you feel something, you know. So I'm very excited when I hear stories like that. I'm just very flattered, and yeah, it's nice.
Who's doing some remixes on the album right now?
Remixes of us?
Yeah.
Well, for this current single, there are two remixes. One is by a guy called Jesse Rose, who's from the UK, does kind of like sort of housey techno music, which is a good remix. And then there's a Soul Wax remix of Ready for the Floor. We're getting Robert Wyatt to do a remix, and we have quite a few like German techno producers doing some remixes. A guy called Dominik Eulberg.
And what flatters the most, doing a remix for example, Amy Winehouse's Rehab and hearing that she's pleased, or being remixed?
Well, I don't care too much about Amy Winehouse, to be honest, but it was great to get a good response from the remix of Kraftwerk that we did. It was nice to know that they liked that, you know. It was because they're massive heroes of us, and it was great, you know, to be asked in the first place, and it was also great to know that they liked the music. So yeah, that is very important, like to us, you know, and hopefully, you know, when we finish touring this album, we have a bit more time. We'd like to carry on doing things like that. It'd be really, really good.
Thanks for the interview.
No problem. Okay,
Bye.
Thanks.